Hello, welcome back to Up the Villa opposition preview, Sunderland v Aston Villa. Delighted to have Ryan on. We're not related. We have got the same surname, but how are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good, but how come you've not done your catchphrase at the start?
Oh, I should have. Oh, I've completely missed the trick there. Like,
You have, mate. You have. You know, it grips me every time I see one of your TikToks. Anyway, so how are you feeling as a Sunderland fan at the minute?
surprisingly optimistic, but at the same time, I'm trying not to get too ahead of ourselves because we're 4 games in. 7 points from 4 games it's better than I thought would be doing, and I'm happy with that. There's obviously the AFCON worry in December, and we're playing. I think our fixtures for December is Liverpool, Man City, Newcastle, then Man City again, with pretty much all of our new signings absent because of AFCON. It'll be a rough month.
Yeah, so talk to me that we'll go back a little bit. We'll go back to last season. I know you was at the playoff final. So
Yeah.
how was that occasion? I mean, we've gone through it when we got promoted. We went through it at that route, and it's not the greatest of games to actually watch because it's just completely nerve-wracking. But
Yeah,
talk to me, like, how did it feel being at the game, seeing your team get back into the Premier League?
it was unbelievable. And just the way we did it as well. It was the same as the playoff semi-final, just the way that we did it in our true Sunderland form, and just being there and seeing that it was mental.
How does it feel then being back in the Premier League? Because nostalgic memories for me of Sunderland of like Quinn and Phillips up top back in the 90s, sort of like
I see.
tearing it up. You know, you do feel for me, you are a club that belongs in the Premier League. You've had
Yeah.
various stints in the Premier League. So how does it feel actually being back?
For me, the nostalgia I get, because I'm 24 and I used to go to the games back when I was a kid. You're looking at like Kenwyn Jones and Jibril Cisse. That's my like Quinn and Phillips. But being back in the Premier League now, it feels right, if that makes sense. It feels like we
Mhm.
belong there, and I think we are going to stay up.
Oh, well, I mean, you've got off to a great start, and I feel like home form's going to be quite important for you. You've
Yeah,
won your
that's it.
first two home games, so I know you went to one of the cup games as well. But what's the stadium of like these days? Is it still as loud as what it's always been? I mean, you know, you're a very passionate fan base. The other team that are quite near to you as well, which probably you don't like to talk about, they're very passionate as well. You know,
Yeah.
you are like a passionate bunch of fans. So
All right.
what's the atmosphere been like?
It's class. Like there's hope again. That's what it feels like. It's like we're rejuvenated, and there's hope in the club, and there's hope in the fans. It's class. Like I got rinsed quite a bit for the Huddersfield one because they only sold tickets in that back end. So my view of it looked empty, and it was a Carabao Cup game against Huddersfield, like on a Tuesday night, I
Yeah,
think.
you've
But
kind of
like I haven't been to a Premier League home game yet, but I've seen plenty, and it looks class. Like my brother's been, and he said it's awesome.
So you've kind of touched on your recruitment and a lot of players going to AFCON. Were you quite surprised at how you attacked the window? I mean,
Yeah,
every time every
nobody
time I
expected that.
saw every time I saw Fabrizio Romano speaking, it was like you're signing another Sunderland player, and like you know, you've gave it like a real good go
Oh
in
yeah.
in the transfer market. So does that give you hope that you are going to stay up? And sort of who's been the player that you've signed where you've been like, actually, like, I'm feeling this one.
So with a window, I did a Premier League predictions video. I did one before the transfer window and then one after. I think I went from putting us 19th to putting us 17th. Um, I think it was necessary. We needed to spend that much money and sign that many players, but I didn't expect it in the same breath. Like, but the marquee signing is obviously Granit Xhaka on paper. But the signing that surprised me, especially at the Palace game at the weekend, was Robin Roofs. What a keeper!
I watched his highlights, mate.
Unbelievable.
He's like saving everything, weren't he?
Aye.
Shaq. I think Xhaka's like a clever signing because
Yeah.
he's got
Leadership and experience.
experience, and that's massive in the Premier League. I look at Brentford and they've brought in Henderson, and some people will look at those signings and go, "Oh, nah, they're no good," but they sort of can mean so much to your team. And another player that I was impressed with that you signed was Adingra. I think
Yeah.
he's a quality signing, and he was smashing it for Brighton. And as I remember watching you in, I think it was against Coventry. You had a centre back that was like standing out for me. Is he still
Ballard.
playing for you? Yeah, is he still
Ballard,
playing?
yeah. He's injured at the minute though.
He
He
was
scored. He
quality.
scored the
He
winner.
was.
He
Yeah,
scored that winner in the.
he just gets his head on everything. So your manager as well. Talk to me a bit about him. He's not been there that long, has he?
Just over a year now.
I mean, that's incredible to get promoted and
Yeah.
only being at a club. I mean, I was going to ask you a little bit about Sunderland Till I Die. And, you know, when I was watching that and I was watching how the club were just like striving to be Sunderland and get back to where they belong, and the
Yeah.
managers that you went through,
Oh, we
it
went
feels
through
quite crazy that like you've now got this new manager that's been here a year that got you promoted, and you went through like Coleman, etc. So,
Yeah.
how do you feel about that documentary as like a Sunderland fan? How was that perceived for you?
I haven't watched it in a while. I don't think I've watched it since we were in League One. So I think watching it now would feel completely different. But I literally couldn't have been filmed at a worse time.
I know it was bad, and some of the decision making you were like, oh no. But do you know what I think it did? I think it made neutral fans like Sunderland.
Yeah.
That's literally, you know, I think when you're hearing like the fans and you were watching them go to like playoff games or cup or the games, and they just kept losing and they couldn't get over the line. I think that sort of brought neutrals to actually really liking Sunderland. So
Yeah.
you are going to be playing your rivals, Newcastle, and they have
13th of
been,
December.
you know, you know when it is. How talk to me about the rivalry and how do you think you're going to do in those games?
It's just something that's instilled in us. I think obviously every team's got a rival, and I think it's just instilled in you, like from being a kid. My dad's just saying like, right, look, we're here at Newcastle, right? And from then on, just from this big to now, just. But in terms of how well we'll fare in the games, I think it'll be a lot closer than people think. And I think after 4 Premier League games, it's quite hard to tell. But I think it'll be closer than people than what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah.
I would be happy to come away with a point against them. And that's like putting the rivalry aside, like looking at it as pure football. I'd be happy to come away with a point.
I think you're going to do really well this year. You know, I just think you've got the making of being very good at home. I think your stadium is just set up for you to do really well, and I think you have to win about 10 games in the Premier League to sort of stay up, and you're already on 2. So if you ain't going to win that many more, really. So
Yeah.
I've been to Newcastle a couple of times, and their fan base is really, really passionate.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between the two sets of fans, or is it very similar in that sense?
It is quite a similar thing. When you look at the passion side of things, it is quite a similar thing. But I don't know, there's like a sense of an underdog feeling with us. That's what I feel like. There's like an underdog feeling with Sunderland fans. Where Newcastle, especially like as of late, because of the takeover and all the signings and the success that they've had over the past few years, they haven't got that.
Yeah. So Villa at the minute, we are not doing very good. We're really struggling this season. What have you made of Villa so far this season?
I mean, I'm baffled by it, to be honest. I had Watkins and Rodgers in my FPL team, I think, the first week, and still haven't scored a Premier League goal after 4 games. It's mental. And even that Harvey Elliott goal last night, that was pure fluke. It's weird. It's a bit like Forest. Like Forest, another one of them teams that I like to see doing well and have been doing well, and then they've just completely dropped off this season by the looks of things.
Yeah. What do you think the game's going to be like then on Sunday? Do you think you're going to try and just sit in and hit us on the break, or do you think you'll have more of a go against us and sort of like try and stick it on Villa? How do you see the game going?
I think because he's haven't scored a Premier League goal yet, it'll be a case where we'll actually put a little bit of pressure on at the start, and we have this habit of just sitting back and then waiting for the counter, which works now and again. But I think we'll actually put a little bit of pressure on, and I'm hoping
Yeah, I mean,
that we can.
You talking about sort of sitting in and then hitting us on the break. That's kind of like our kryptonite, really. It's something that we really struggle with, and yeah, we just seem to be lacking confidence wise, really.
Yeah,
So
that's a major part of it. Like we've been in that same situation with confidence, and when you're on like a streak of losses or draws, it's a mentality game.
mm-hmm, definitely, yeah. Well, it's been great chatting to you about Sunderland. You're not normally the type of kind of fan that we have on. You sort of we normally have like football content creators, and
Yeah,
basically I came across Ryan when you was working in the pub, mate.
yeah.
Mainly making parmos, and it's weird how an algorithm works that I'm now watching daily sort of TikTok vlogs that you do. So just talk to me a little bit about your content and how it came about, and sort of the content that you make.
I am. Well, obviously, I've started it at the pub, and that was 2.5 years ago now. I started that kind of just as something to do, just a bit of fun. And it kind of snowballed. I didn't expect it to really snowball. That was more just filming what I was getting up to at work. And obviously, I left the pub in April. So since then, I've kind of jumped onto my own account, started doing my own thing. And I only work 3 days a week now. So I'm filming a lot less work stuff. And I kind of just, I don't know how else to word it other than I kind of just film what I'm doing, like my life. I don't really like the word vlog, but I'm guessing that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched you like clean your bedroom a few times,
Just
and
daft stuff like that, and people
you
seem to
do
watch it.
your
Baffles me.
washing.
I'm not gonna lie.
You do create good content, and you do work at Slice. So I mean, that looks quite a cool place to work.
Yeah, it's sick. I love it.
Making flipping your pizzas around and stuff. So yeah, mate, it's been great having you on just to get an insight into Sunderland and how it's going for you guys, and it's great to chat to you, really, mate. I watch you all the time, so
Cheers, mate.
I thought you're the Sunderland guy that can come on.
It's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, thanks, mate.